now. What do you find without your mind?
I don't know how to answer now.
You know the answer and you don't know how to put it in words? Is that how it is? Or you feel like you
Yes,
don't know? Ah,
yes.
that's a good answer.
What?
That's a good answer.
Ah,
In fact, everyone knows the answer, you see, but everyone is confusing their ability to put it into words as their knowing of the answer. I wonder who can hear me on this. Everyone knows the answer, but it is our inability to put it into words or to be able to conceptualize it, which feels like we lost the self or I don't know who I am. And therefore, we have to undertake the practice of self inquiry to recognize that I've always known the answer. See, the self inquiry will not be answered as an answer. It is not one day that you will say, who am I? And a conceptual answer will come, you are the absolute self. You see, that is as much garbage as any other idea you may have about yourself. You see? But you will see that you are the absolute self. And that seeing will not be a product of sight. It will not be a perception seeing. You will recognize. Actually, there's no word for what happens. So we have to use words like seeing or recognize or remember or understand. But all of these words don't actually match the simple insight, intuitive insight that you have about yourself. So if you trust that in your heart, in your intuition, you know yourself, you see, it is only the only trouble is that that knowing does not have a way to express itself in language. You see, and that is its beauty actually. If it was that small that it could be expressed in language, that then it would be as objective as anything else. You see, so if you can trust your heart that it knows, because it does, you see, then it would be not possible to suffer from anything at all.
hmm.
You see, so it is this pure knowing, pure knowingness, which seems to get clouded in the human play by our conceptual knowledge, by our false knowledge, which is called ignorance. You see, so satsang is to dispel this ignorance, which is false knowledge. Now, part of the ignorance is that we believe that it is this false knowledge which will get replaced by a true knowledge. You see, in our head. So we'll know something better here, and that will become the truth. But it is not like that. You see, we may stuff all the scriptures in our head, you see, but till we meet the truth here, which is not physically here, but I'm saying here intuitively, you see, when we meet the truth in our intuition, then we realize that all words are empty and at best are pointers to that. You see, so my recommendation to all of you is that we must stop playing in this arena where this game of struggle is happening. You see, because as I said the other day, there is only one game possible here. You see, which is confusion to conclusion. And our conclusion will only become our fresh confusion. If you remember this about the mind, it is enough. You will only play that game here. And you've seen it in your life many times. You can have a question, what is happening here? Master says, everything is the will of consciousness. You see? And that settles us down for a bit because that's a new conclusion. And we settle with that and say, this is good. I feel like I can live like this. What happens after a few days? Oh, why is consciousness so mean? Can't it see the suffering of these poor children? You see, then new confusion comes. You see, then Master says everything, all colors and taste in this universe are the play of consciousness, and without the contrast, you will not notice. You see, without the salt, you will not notice the sweet. You see, then you will say, ah, nice conclusion. I can live with this now. I got it. You see, but after a few days, same something or the other. You see, that's why I call the intellect a leaky bucket. So we cannot resolve it over there. The master may keep giving you all the best answers in the world, but till you go beyond answers, till you go beyond words into your heart, you see, all of this will just be the same play, the same play of confusion and conclusion. So if you leave that entire play, you see, is there any other aspect of your being which can suffer?
Other than intellect, you say?
Yes, yes.
No.
And for your being, in reality, how large is the intellect? How much of the being space does the intellect take up? Is it as big? Is it like the head for the being? As big as the head? You see? You say, you look and you say, how to say that? Because my being is immense. It is infinite. It is beyond boundaries. So I can't say that this twittering voice is as big as the head. You cannot say it is as big as your toenail. You cannot say it is bigger than a speck of dust. So, so this intellect playing with our attention and belief makes a sufferer out of us, makes us a limited object, you see. And then we play this game of wanting, wanting, pushing, pushing, wanting, wanting, pushing, pushing. You see, only possible with this intellect. So leave that aside now. What remains?
May you repeat, please?
If you leave that aside now, your intellect aside, then what remains?
Nothing has changed. That remains,
Yeah.
which, yeah.
But even change, I know it's a good answer, but even change and not change, you see, reality and unreality, truth and untruth, knowledge and ignorance, all of this belongs only to the intellect. So it is impossible really to make any conclusion about that which remains. It is impossible to make a reference about it. It is impossible to say this is what it is. And yet, you see, in that intuition, in that insight, it is clear what it is. Do you feel like it is clear or no?
For me, it's
Yes.
so clear. May I share something, Father?
About this or about the intellect?
No, about this.
Ah, good, good. Yes.
Um, Today I was practicing the Guruji's guidance. Yesterday it has released about, when you wake up, do this, just stay as present. So as soon as I wake up, this practice I did, and just presence was all there is. And it has also some, I don't know, like a subtle feeling, I want to say like this. And then mind in the form of I has started to come, but it's recognized immediately. And when it is recognized, I also understand what does it mean that, to catch the thief. Like, I don't remember the whole story, but I recognize what does it mean actually. So I feel to share this now. I mean, as you said, it cannot be captured in this. It just comes up and it's again start to capture or understand. But yeah,
This is very good. So all the guidance from the masters, you see, as much as you can, don't convert it into any sort of understanding. As much as you can, Don't convert it into any sort of understanding, because very soon what the mind will do is try to hold yourself to that conceptual understanding and make you forget about what is your intuitive understanding. So as Guruji takes us through the invitation, as he takes us through the inquiry, as he invites us to stay with the sense of being, go with that pointing, but as much as you can, don't make it into any sort of a conclusion or a understanding saying that this is what happens. I know I asked you, so you that was fair, but I'm saying just for yourself, you see, just for yourself. Don't make it into any sort of understanding of this is what happened. You see, because what will happen is that many times we feel like when we are sitting in inquiry, the mind makes an understanding saying that peace comes or love comes, you see, or just spaciousness comes. You see. Then after a few weeks, what happened in inquiry? Oh, inquiry stopped working because the mind is saying, where is the peace? Where's the love? Where is the spaciousness? You see? So don't understand what happens. Trust, if you're asking, who am I? Trust the process, you see, and stay with the question. Don't make it into any sort of idea about this is what it does, this is what happens. You see, because this is all defense mechanism. We don't realize it. But our conceptual understanding of what happens in these sublime processes is just a defense mechanism, because the mind wants to say, no, I'm not lost in all of this. I know what is going on. This is what happens. You see? And that is just a setup for failure. You see? So, um, so then what happens is that all our doership from all of these processes also then goes away, because I noticed that as through these beautiful guided meditations and things, what can happen sometimes we try too hard to do them, you see, but that is not needed. Even in satsang now, many times I notice that somebody may be trying too hard to understand what I'm saying, you see, but you cannot get it that way. Something just does, like Guruji says, the bypass, you see, the mind bypass, and touches you somewhere, you see, in your heart, and that just sprouts into an atomic scene. You see. And this is also not a true metaphor for what happens, because the mind will start looking for that. So, so just it's simple. You see, you found your way, yourself, found your way to a master, and then you have boarded the guru train. You don't have to worry about anything after that.